Most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to start a company in Taiwan, and that misunderstanding ends up costing them months of delays, unexpected fees, and sometimes even complete failure before they ever begin operating. Because here's the surprising truth. Taiwan doesn't really treat business formation the way many people expect when they hear the term LLC. And if you go in assuming it works like the United States or Europe, you can easily miss one critical step that determines whether your company is approved quickly or gets stuck in paperwork limbo. Now imagine someone like Michael, a software developer from California. He's been working remotely for years, building apps for clients across Asia. He keeps hearing that Taiwan is one of the best places in Asia to set up a stable, legally recognized business with strong banking infrastructure and access to regional markets. So Michael makes a decision. He thinks, I'll just form an LLC in Taiwan, open a bank account, and start invoicing clients locally. Simple idea. But within a few weeks, he realizes something important. Nothing about this process is simple, unless you understand how Taiwan actually structures foreign business registration, residency requirements, and company categories. And this is where most people get stuck. Right at the beginning. Because they assume they are registering an LLC, when in reality Taiwan uses a different legal structure system entirely. But here's where things get interesting. Once you understand the structure, the process becomes very logical, very predictable, and surprisingly manageable. So, in this guide, we are going to break everything down step by step in a way that feels clear, even if you have zero background in international business. We'll walk through what an LLC actually means in the Taiwan context, how foreign entrepreneurs legally register a company, what documents you need, what mistakes cause delays, how banking really works, and what most agencies don't tell you until it's too late. And by the end, you won't just understand the process. You'll understand how to approach Taiwan like a strategic business destination instead of a confusing legal maze. Now let's go back to Michael's story for a moment. Because after his initial excitement, he hits his first major problem. He tries to open a company through a generic online guide he found, and it tells him to simply register an LLC with the government. So he prepares documents, translates his passport, and even starts drafting a business plan. But when he contacts a local consultant in Taipei, he hears something unexpected. There is no direct LLC structure in Taiwan law.eu. Instead, foreign entrepreneurs typically register what is called a limited company, which is the closest equivalent. And depending on your structure, you may also encounter a branch office or representative office. And this is where confusion begins for most beginners. Because each structure has completely different implications for taxes, ownership, banking, and even your ability to legally operate. So let's break that down in a practical way. If your goal is to run a full business, issue invoices, hire employees, and build a long-term operation, the most common structure is the limited company. This is what most people mean when they say LLC in Taiwan, even though that terminology is technically not used in the legal code. But here's the problem. Even after choosing the right structure, the process is still layered with requirements that many people underestimate. And this is exactly what happened to Sarah, another entrepreneur from New York. Sarah runs an e-commerce brand selling skincare products. She wants to expand into Asian markets. And Taiwan looks like the perfect hub. Strong logistics, stable economy, and a reputation for business friendliness. She assumes she can set up her company in a few weeks. Instead, she runs into delays she never expected. Why? Because Taiwan requires a structured approval process that involves multiple government agencies, and in some cases, capital verification before registration is even finalized. And this is where most people make their first critical mistake. They underestimate preparation time. So let's slow this down and walk through what actually happens in a real Taiwan company registration process. First comes the name reservation. You cannot just choose a company name and start operating. You must submit it for approval to ensure it doesn't conflict with existing businesses. This sounds simple, but even small naming conflicts can delay approval. Then comes the business scope declaration. And this is something many foreign founders overlook. Taiwan requires you to clearly define your business activities. If you are too vague, you may get rejected or asked for revisions. But here's where things get more serious. Foreign ownership rules and capital requirements begin to matter. Depending on your business type, you may be required to deposit a minimum capital amount into a local bank account. This is not always a fixed number, but it must be consistent with your stated business activity. And this is where Daniel, a digital consultant from Texas, made a costly assumption. He thought he could declare a small capital amount just to get started fast. But the issue is not just about starting fast. It's about credibility. Banks and regulators in Taiwan often evaluate whether your capital matches your business plan. If it looks unrealistic, your application can be questioned or delayed. So Daniel had to revise his entire structure. And this leads to an important insight. Registering a company in Taiwan is not just paperwork. It is a credibility test. But don't worry, because once you understand this system, you can actually use it to your advantage. And here's the mini payoff. Most successful foreign entrepreneurs don't struggle because Taiwan is difficult. They struggle because they approach it like a simple online form, instead of a structured approval system. Now let's continue. Once your name and business scope are approved, the next major step is capital verification and company registration submission. At this stage, many founders assume they are almost done. But in reality, this is where banking becomes the biggest challenge. And this is where things can go very wrong. Because opening a corporate bank account in Taiwan is often more difficult than registering the company itself. Banks want to see real business activity, a clear operational plan, and in some cases, local presence or a business address. And this is exactly what surprised Emily, a freelance marketing strategist from Chicago. Emily thought she could manage everything remotely. But when she applied for a bank account, she was asked for additional documentation she hadn't prepared, including client contracts, proof of business operations, and detailed financial projections. And suddenly, what seemed like a simple registration became a strategic planning exercise. So what's the insight here? Taiwan doesn't just want companies to exist on paper. It wants them to demonstrate real economic activity. And once you understand this, everything changes. Because now you stop thinking like someone trying to register fast, and you start thinking like someone building a legitimate business presence. So let's walk through the actual structure clearly. A typical Taiwan limited company setup for foreign founders includes 5 core stages. First, name approval and reservation. Second, business scope approval. Third, capital verification through a local bank. Fourth, company registration submission to the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And fifth, tax registration and business license activation. But here's the part most guides skip. After registration, you still need to manage ongoing compliance, including accounting filings and tax reporting. Taiwan has a structured tax system, and even small companies must maintain proper bookkeeping. Now, let's pause for a moment and return to Michael. Because after struggling through these steps, something interesting happens. Instead of quitting, he changes his strategy. He stops trying to rush the process, and instead builds a clear preparation checklist before resubmitting anything. He prepares a stronger business plan. He gathers real client agreements. He structures his capital properly. And he even consults a local advisor to align his application with Taiwan's expectations. And this is where everything shifts. His application gets approved smoothly. And this reveals a powerful truth. In Taiwan, success is not about shortcuts. It's about alignment with the system. But there's another important layer we haven't talked about yet: visas and residency. Because here's the next question most entrepreneurs ask. If I register a company in Taiwan, can I live there and run it? The answer is potentially yes, but not automatically. Business registration and residency are separate processes. If you want to live in Taiwan while operating your company, you typically need an investor visa or employment-based residency tied to your business. And this is where many people misunderstand the system. They assume company registration equals residency rights. But in reality, you must apply separately and demonstrate that your business is active and economically meaningful. Now here's the mini payoff. Once your company is operational and compliant, it can actually support your visa application more effectively than in many other countries. But again, timing and structure matter. And this leads to another curiosity loop. Because what most people don't realize is that the way you structure your company from day one can directly affect your ability to get residency approval later. So if you set things up incorrectly at the beginning, you don't just slow down registration, you may also weaken your long-term immigration options. Now, let's bring everything together. Registering what people call an LLC in Taiwan is really about building a limited company under a structured legal system that prioritizes clarity, financial credibility, and compliance. It is not overly complicated, but it is highly procedural. And once you understand the logic behind it, the entire process becomes much easier to navigate. You prepare your structure carefully. You define your business scope realistically. You align your capital with your operations. You prepare banking documents with intention. And you treat approval not as a hurdle, but as a validation step. And that shift in mindset is what separates failed applications from successful companies. So if you are someone like Sarah, Michael, or Daniel watching this process from the outside, the biggest takeaway is simple. Don't rush Taiwan. Prepare for it. Because once you do, you are not just registering a company. You are building a stable foundation in one of Asia's most structured and opportunity-rich economies. And when everything is done correctly, the result is not just a legal entity. It is a real business platform you can scale globally. If you found this guide helpful, and want more videos that break down complex global business setups like this in a clear and practical way, make sure to subscribe to the channel.